All right, guys, let's talk about what I realized this Christmas. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We get you on the grind, improve your mind. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the realization I had during Christmas dinner last night, December 25th. So, it's like I went to my grandparents' house, my whole family, because that's what we do on Christmas Day. We'll usually go to my grandparents' house, my dad's side of the family, my stepmom, all my siblings, and then it would be my dad's sister, my aunt, and then her husband, my uncle, and then all their kids, my cousins, right? So like the two families, like five and five, one family of five, another family of five, and then you have my two grandparents, so 12 people altogether, and then my stepmom's a couple people from my stepmom's family too. So we're all in the living room unwrapping gifts. So you have all the kids from one side of the family, all the kids from the other side of the family, my dad and his sister, my aunt, and then so everybody's in this room, and then you have my grandma, grandpa, so grandma, grandpa, and then the extended family, and then me, the ultimate male, the ultimate man in the room, me just sitting there. So everybody's opening gifts, and at one point, my grandma got a gift from my dad and my aunt. They got something together for their mom, my grandma, right? Family tree, everybody is understanding. And my grandma was opening the present that they got. It was like some cash and it was something else in like a tin foil. And she was just like so happy from like the gift. She's like, "Oh, you shouldn't have it." She's getting, I'm 27, right? So my grandma is obviously much, much, much more older. So, she's just very thankful to still be alive, and everybody's very happy, and it was a good time. So, she gets present and she starts tearing up. I was like, "Oh, you guys shouldn't have." Everybody's like, feeling, "Oh God," she's being emotional. And it was in that moment I realized, right? It was like my grandma and my grandpa, they got together back in the glory days, right? In the 50s, 40s, 50s, right? Because my grandpa was in World War II. He came back. Boom! He was one of those. Yeah. So if it wasn't for those two getting together, there would be no my dad. Like there wouldn't be him. And then there'd be no my aunt, which means all my cousins, which I get along with well, they would not exist either. So just because it was like a different setting back then, right? Men and women to get together. Society was a little different back then. They get together. It was because of those two people created an entire room of people that all love each other in one big room on a Christmas day. And everybody's happy, opening presents. And I was like, wow, times are really going to be different because I don't have any kids. None of my siblings have kids. I mean, my sister's a lot younger, but my brother is around my age and he has no plan to have kids. All my cousins are not really going to plan to have kids for a long time. So, but my grandparents had kids when they were like in their early 20s or like really early 20s. And then my dad and my aunt had kids when they were like in their early 20s. And then you have this new generation, including me, and then all my cousins, and then my siblings, and none of us are having kids. Like they all had kids, but now we're not. Some of that is because the economy is kind of messing up, and nobody really wants to get married anymore. And intersexual dynamics have gone haywire these days, and the dating market is a complete mess. We talk about that in many other videos, and everything has just gone completely insane. Everybody's trying to be like LGBTQ now. Like there's a whole agenda being pushed, and there's a lot of things going on at once. Less people having kids because they can't afford them, and the people who are having kids, a lot of them are single moms now because they're dumb and and a lot of men don't understand women, so they're just knocking these girls up, and all these girls are single now, and there's no family unit. Nuclear family is being destroyed in real time, and we're seeing it through our very eyes. It's making society a very messy place. A lot of kids born out of wedlock, a lot of couples are not staying together. People cheat on everybody. Luckily, I'm smart, so I'm not gonna impregnate anyone right now because I don't have I'm just not ready for that right now. But a lot of people are not reproducing that they once were, and it's going to be interesting. I wonder what life's going to be like when I'm like in my late 60s or 70s. I'm thinking like, oh boy, what if something happens to my body, then I can't really walk. Hopefully I have my brothers and siblings and stuff, and maybe but like who knows what's going to happen. It's just like a weird thought. Like I hope I'm surrounded by loved ones when I'm very old, because my grandma and grandpa, they were so happy to get that little gift, and shedding tears. They were so happy, and it's because that they got together and they had their kids, and then their kids had kids, but now their kids that had kids are not having kids, which is my generation, my siblings, and my cousins. None of them are even close to even thinking about kids right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So it's kind of like a shocking revelation that society really has changed and things have gotten a lot different. My grandparents are gonna when they leave this earth, they're gonna leave very happy because they reproduced, they had a bunch of family that loved them, and everybody's happy, and like they had a good thing going for them. But I don't know what's gonna happen with my generation. Like a lot of people are not gonna have the same experience. A lot of people are gonna die alone, it seems, because everybody's so angry, and a lot of women be hating on men be hating on women. Everything is like a catastrophe. Everybody's hating on each other. There's so much negative energy. There seems to be a destruction of the family unit in real time as we know it. So it's kind of been an interesting revelation to think that society really has changed. And, the best thing we can really do is focus on ourselves and discover what we really want, but try to do it the best way possible. So a lot of things to think about.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I like that. I like that story you brought up. It reminds me a lot of actually this clip of Andrew Tate on the Fresh and Fit podcast. If I find it, I'll put it in right here.
I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah, that nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife.
And so with that clip, like what you just seen, he's talking about how it's exactly what Andrew was talking about. All these different family members together in a room, and you see the grandparents right there. All these people are here because of that woman. All these people are alive because these 2 people got together and they reproduced. And you are correct. A lot of, and you're seeing it, you have a real life example with your family, your cousins, yourself. You guys have, right as of right now, no plans of reproducing. Back then, that's pretty much what you did. You just reproduced.
Everybody
you
was
got
like,
you got with someone. Oh, cool. Let's reproduce right now.
And there was a more of an incentive to get married back then because, it wasn't like the whole. I mean, women didn't have as many options, so they would stay with their man even though they didn't really like them that much. So, a lot of parents would be forced to stay together. But now, like, women are just out here. Men are out here too. Casual sex is a thing now. It's like it's everywhere. It's always been a thing, but now it's like even more being pushed. Like everybody's, these people are banging. Don't let anybody fool you. These girls are not innocent. These guys are not innocent. People, a lot of guys can't bang anyway because they're not that
smart.
Yeah, but they're not doing it. But we are in an interesting culture right now.
I think so. Yeah, and with that, you are correct. I feel our generation, at least a good majority of us, I feel like a good 55% of our generation will probably either die alone or die with a small family unit. So, and I say that like in comparison to family units of, from our generation up. So like our parents, our grandparents, so on and so forth, that family up there above us is normally 9 times out of 10 huge in comparison to the family unit of us and below. And that's because back then people were just reproducing a lot and they were creating a lot of kids. Like I know a few people just from work alone, they're like children 5 of like 8 in their family there, or so on and so forth. My parents, my mom, I think she was I don't remember exactly what number she was, but there was 4 of them. And so like right there it's more than 1 or 2, and like I'm one. So that's a thing. So at least for me, it sucks for me because let's say if I wasn't having kids, I wouldn't even have a sibling. So I wouldn't even have any blood relative that's close like that around me if I wasn't going to have a sibling.
You just
my
has
bloodline,
me, so.
Literally, if I would to die, my bloodline would not exist anymore. It would end with me because I am the only one. I'm the only option for my bloodline to continue at this moment.
That's why he must do it. It's up to him.
So
me, I have 2 siblings, so they both have an opportunity to reproduce. Although I have a sister, so my last name is going to be destroyed if she marries someone. So bye, I guess. But my brother, though, that's a different story. He has a chance. But a lot of people are they're not getting married. I wouldn't really advise anyone to get married. That's just me, though. Because the way the laws are in some states,
the government, it's the whole government.
I hate the government. Yeah,
if it wasn't for the government, it'd be fine.
Absolutely, definitely. And then a lot of people are not having kids, and people, once again, a lot of people who are having kids, they're doing it in a really dumb way. they're doing it with people that they don't even like that much, and they're just coming inside people. It's like, stop. It's just complete madness.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said this. He said that, or Elon Musk, one of them. I don't remember.
What do you think about Elon Musk saying that overpopulation is a myth and it's actually the opposite? What do you think about that?
It is the opposite in places where the developed world exists, like in big cities. People are having less children.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys in their 40s. They're
Dr.
not even close to being married, no kids. They're not going to
Yeah.
have kids. That's happening everywhere.
So it's lifestyle choices for sure that happen when people live in big cities and they concentrate on their career. Where women aren't oppressed and they can pursue careers, they pursue careers as they put off childbirth. It's like this, that's the theme of Idiocracy. There's this really smart couple and they keep putting it off, having kids. And at the same time, you're showing this dude who lives in a trailer park. He's fucking all these chicks near him. He knocks up her and she's chasing him with a frying pan because she found out he knocked up her too. And it just shows how people are just getting dumber and dumber. The dumber people are overpopulating. The smart people aren't having any children.
Like your bit.
That's what's happening right now. Like it's not that our population is going to decline. It's more the intelligence is going to decline because those are the people that are reproducing.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people just don't, you know, they're just not ready for it. And as I said before, like the economy is kind of trashy right now, so things are not going well with that. There's a lot of things to think about, you know. We really need to start evaluating our lives more and focusing on what we really want to bring and what's going to happen when we get old. Is there going to be people around to take care of us, or are we just going to be in a retirement home and die alone? Like maybe, you know, we all need to go through our individual experiences and find out what we want in life. But it's something to think about, you know. I see a very interesting turn in society right now. Things are not looking very good. There's a lot of hate going on, and you know, a lot of people are not in the right headspace. You know, we're in a civilization of mentally ill people, so we need to really work on that. Yeah, just a little Christmas revelation that we came across. So something interesting to talk about. Some of you guys to really think about your future with. So if you guys like this content, make sure you hit the like button and also leave your comment below on what your thoughts are. Or if you had a Christmas revelation, leave it in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and you could donate to the Cash App if you want to donate to the work that we put in. We put in a lot of work to this channel, so if you want to help us out, Cash App link in the description. And we're going to see you guys in the next video.